Earlier this year, San Diego home prices were up 7% over last year. As of this week, San Diego home prices are even with last year. We've seen a real failure to launch in the San Diego housing market over the past month, and it begs the question, how good of a year is this going to be for San Diego home buyers? That's the question we're answering in today's San Diego real estate update for February 27th, 2025. I'm Jon Schwartz, California's 1% homebuyer agent. I post these San Diego real estate updates every other Thursday. So subscribe and check back to stay on top of your market. And if you're planning to buy a home in San Diego, you really should do so with a much lower agent fee and without an exclusive representation agreement. Learn more and schedule time to chat at jonsch.com. That's JONSCH.com. Now let's get into the data. Now we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the San Diego Metropolitan Statistical Area, which, fun fact, actually includes all of San Diego County. And we're looking at the median sale price of homes in San Diego. We have fallen off a bit in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, pricing was at $891,000 for a median San Diego home. Now we're at $883,000 for a median San Diego home. But what's, of course, most notable is how the green line has moved in relation to last year, the orange line. 2 weeks ago, San Diego home prices were 7% more expensive than the same week last year. This week, San Diego home prices are 0% more expensive than homes the same week last year. What is going on? Are we going to get a late start to the spring buying season? Or is it possible that prices this year won't even get up to where prices were last year? This is a real lackluster start to the year in San Diego, and it poses the question, are San Diego home buyers in the midst of a great opportunity? Well, even though actual sale prices are flat, San Diego agents are feeling optimistic. That's why new listing median price has been growing over the past 2 weeks. This is the median price that new listings in San Diego hit the market this week. Right now, we're at $992,000 for a new listing on the San Diego market. 2 weeks ago, we were down at $907,000. The price of a new listing in San Diego is still hovering almost 5% higher than last year's listings coming to market this week. So clearly, agents in San Diego are expecting San Diego home prices, despite this slow start to the year, to stay ahead of last year's prices. Will they? Let's keep looking at the data and see what it tells us. Now we're looking at new listings. This is the number of new listings that came to market this week in San Diego. We saw some fall off over the past 2 weeks. That's a very sloppy arrow. Let me do that again. Woo! That is a slowly downward sloping arrow. So that's what we've been seeing the past 2 weeks. Right now, we have 581 new listings on the San Diego market. That represents 10.6% growth over last year's numbers. That's still a pretty healthy margin. If this margin continues to descend relative to last year, well, with less inventory comes more competition, comes upward pressure on pricing. We'll see those prices pop above last year's numbers. But if we can rebound and keep new listings coming to market over last year's numbers, well, that's going to mean some lackluster pricing in San Diego this year. Big question is, where's demand? And the answer is, well, demand's beginning to falter. Right now, we're looking at homes sold in San Diego. This, of course, is an excellent metric of demand. When more homes are selling, that means more people are buying homes. It means more people want to buy homes. Homes sold spent much of the year ahead of the same numbers last year. We were up 13.5%, 9.2%, 6.9%. However, this most recent week, in which we sold 358 homes on the San Diego market, trailed last year's numbers by 7.6%. 7.6%. So yeah, it's strange to have demand falling off this time of year. If it continues to do so, it's going to be a pretty soft year in San Diego. And looking at pending sales now, we get another vote for softness. Pending sales is a leading indicator of homes sold. A home goes pending, meaning it enters contract about 30 days before it becomes a home sold, meaning the contract is executed, escrow is closed, and the new owner takes possession. And as you can see, pending sales has been trailing behind last year pretty much all year. Right now, we had 485 homes go pending this week in San Diego. That represents practically a 10% decline over the same period last year. Friends, this is why prices have not been climbing in San Diego. When fewer homes go into contract and fewer homes get sold, it means more inventory just hangs out on the market, which means buyers have more choice. They don't need to be quite as competitive. You have fewer bidding wars, and pricing stays static. Now, looking at active listings, we see this sharp decline in the number of active listings on the San Diego market. However, I'm beginning to think this is a statistical anomaly because we're seeing this sharp decline across all of our Southern California markets. We're not seeing it in Northern California, though MLSs are local, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was something funky in the data in SoCal that did not make its way up to the NorCal data. And plus, compared to other markets, namely Los Angeles and the Inland Empire, this is a relatively small drop in active listings for the week. And despite this sharp decline, we're still 16% higher than last year in the number of active listings on the market. That number is 4,086. So even though there is this sharp decline this week, I'm calling it out as an anomaly and suggesting that active inventory is still at a healthy margin over where we were last year. With more inventory on the market, as we've discussed, that means pricing is going to remain soft. Now looking at weeks of supply, which had a corresponding dip this week, but as you can see, we are still well above last year's numbers and the year before. Right now, we're looking at 12.2 weeks of supply on the San Diego market. That is 3 weeks more than the same time last year. And so far, 2025 is significantly outpacing the previous 3 years. And with our final piece of really great news for San Diego homebuyers, we're looking at the percent of active listings with price drops. And this number shot up this week 140 basis points from 4.7 homes with price drops on the market last week to 6.1 homes on the market with price drops this week. This kind of growth is really unprecedented. Even in 2022, when rates were doubling and people were really having to slash prices to move their homes, we never saw the rate of growth of this metric like we saw this week. And guys, this is what happens when you have too many homes on the market. You got to slash prices to move them. So right now is a really good time to get into the San Diego market. I don't know if this level of softness is going to sustain as we get into the spring and summer, but as of right now, 2025 is looking like a pretty good year to get into the San Diego home market. Before you do, please check out my expose on the California homebuyer scam that is grifting California homebuyers of literally hundreds of millions of dollars each year. I don't want you to get stuck in it, so check that out, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.